Welcome today to our presentation on MEDIAL, a scalable and secure video solution for Canvas that allows teachers and students alike to easily add and record video. If you'd like to check out how the MEDIAL Canvas video app lets Canvas admins quickly and securely add video capabilities to Canvas, you can visit www.medial.com/canvas. There you'll see information on how MEDIAL's Canvas video app can also be used to allow students to respond to video-based assignments, and how teachers can easily add video to course pages and create video assignments.
So without further delay, let's proceed with the webinar, and we'll talk about the differences between the inbuilt video tools within Canvas and those within the MEDIAL Canvas app. So the first thing to address in terms of the differences between MEDIAL and the inbuilt tools in Canvas are the thorny subject of upload limitations. So in Canvas, as you probably know, with the built-in tools, there is a restriction on the file size that you can upload, which is 500 megs, or a much lower amount in terms of individual user uploads. So we've got here a course level. This can be configured, but this is set by default to 500 megabytes, and it has to be changed by an administrator if it's possible to change that at all. In MEDIAL, the difference here is that the upload limit is configurable all the way up to 100 gigs. We can also set user upload limits by the total amount that they've uploaded or by each month that they've uploaded. This can also be configured down to a group as well, so different groups of people can have different upload limits as well. So teachers could have a different upload from students, for example. Second topic to go through here in terms of the inbuilt functions of Canvas for video is the lack of management capabilities. Talk about management capabilities, we're talking about how we actually administer the content that's uploaded by the users. So we can see here on this screenshot, this is how a user would administer their content within Canvas. So it's this traditional kind of tree structure here, but there's not really any way of the user kind of deleting or editing their content. And this is just seen from an overall user perspective, so not from an administration perspective. In MEDIAL, the overall admin of the system will be able to see all of the content that's been uploaded by all of the users and be able to manage that content in terms of editing, deleting, purging, etc. of that content. You don't get that view within Canvas. Another thing that you can do with MEDIAL as well is set up content policies. This allows you to delete content based upon a business rule. On screen here are three typical kind of policies that you would have. Something, for example, all content before 2018, or all content not played within a certain period, or even deleting any content from a particular course, maybe a course that you're not running again. So here's a screenshot of what the content policies look like. This is just a way of configuring it and what it applies to. So for example, you could have a policy that archived all of the content and then permanently deleted it after a particular time. And you could configure this in terms of applying to users, groups, categories, or even courses. Other things that you can do in terms of managing your content. So we saw within Canvas, there's very little that could be done in terms of the individual user managing their content. Well, within MEDIAL, when we go to manage our content, we can do a whole multitude of things here. One of the things that we could do would be to edit a piece of media. We could share a piece of media outside of Canvas. We could download a piece of media, or we could delete our own media as a user. So if we did click on edit, as was previously shown on the screen there, we would be able to edit a video all within the browser, all without leaving Canvas, as pictured here. We'll show a bit more of this when we do the demo a little bit later, but here's mainly what it looks like on screen. The third thing I want to go into is the issue of content security and how secure your content is when you add it to Canvas. So with the inbuilt Canvas tool, we can see here you can either insert or edit media or record or upload media. These particular options will just add a media file to Canvas using the inbuilt tools. Now, it's not something that I'm going to show on screen here because that's not an appropriate thing to do, but actually downloading that file once you're in Canvas and then sharing it outside of Canvas, as long as you have a kind of basic knowledge of the developer tools within a browser, it's a fairly easy thing to do. With MEDIAL, when you add content to Canvas through the MEDIAL button, it is completely secure. It's secured so that that content will only play if somebody has a valid session open in Canvas through LTI. But if we did want to do something with that content, i.e. share it outside of Canvas, we could do that. So we can set up rules within MEDIAL that allow people to access that content outside of Canvas. So we would go to the Canvas app, which we'll demonstrate a little bit later. We'd choose our existing media, and we would go to click to enable the content to be public just by clicking on a simple toggle within the content listing screen within Canvas. That would give us a link to either a player, an embedded player, or to a file even, and we could share that outside of Canvas. But the point being here is that we have to do that ourselves as a user. It isn't something that somebody can come in and just take the content if they want to. We would have to make that content secure so that people could get at that content. The other thing to say as well is that if content's added through MEDIAL as well as being secure, we also are streaming that content. So it has something called adaptive bitrate, which means that the content can stream back to a user at an applicable speed based on their connection speed. Canvas also has these quality options, but they're generally lower quality options than what we have, and they're not streamed back in the same way using adaptive bitrate streaming as we do. The next area is the area of content creation. So obviously we're going to do a demo a little bit later showing content being created within Canvas. What can we do with MEDIAL that we can't do with the inbuilt tools within Canvas? So as we can see here, this is using the inbuilt recording function within Canvas. It's a good tool, but it is very, very basic. You're clicking, you're starting your recording, you're selecting your webcam or your mic, or maybe just your mic if you want to record audio. And then at the end of that, you are basically getting the recording. With MEDIAL, you click on the MEDIAL button and then you click to record screen. But you can see here, there are a variety of different options here. You could upload a file, you could choose an existing file, you could record from your webcam. You can have a look at analytics as well. We'll show that in the demo later. But let's say we just record from our screen. At that point, we get a much more powerful recorder here. So we can record our screen, our video, or both, not just our webcam. And we can flick between the two. I'll show this a bit more in the demo later, but you can see here there's lots of configurable options here, and it's a very, very simple interface. No metadata needs to be typed in. We're getting all of the title and the user information so that all of that information is populated into the MEDIAL content database. Once we record, as I said, we could show our screen, our webcam, both, and we can flip between the two as well as we go. So if we wanted to start with full screen video as an introduction and then go to a PowerPoint with a smaller video within the recording, we can do that as we go. We don't have to stop or start the recording as we do that. And obviously, once we've done that recording, we want to be able to edit that recording in the same way that a student might want to edit a video assignment before they upload it. And MEDIAL has all of those tools built into the browser where we can trim, we can chop, i.e. take a part out of the video. We can even export, which means we can create individual video assets out of one video as a destructive or non-destructive edit. And we can do fine-tune editing up to 1/10 of a second. The next point to talk about is accessibility, which is increasingly important in today's educational environment. What can we do with Canvas built in? Well, we can add a video and we can add some subtitles as an SRT or VTT file, and we can also choose the language. This is a good way of supporting accessibility, but it relies on you having the captions file, which is not always the case. With MEDIAL, we can automatically caption all content that's been uploaded to the system if we want to. We can also request captions as well as upload captions. which means that we can get the captions put onto the video by automatic speech recognition or by a human. Once the captions have gone into MEDIAL, our player has a variety of different options where we can configure the font, color, size, etc., even the background color or background opacity of the captions themselves. So you can end up with, some results that are very good for people who might be partially sighted, etc. The other thing that you can do as well is if the captions that are produced by a human or a machine aren't what you're looking for, you can edit those in MEDIAL as well. And this can all be done from within Canvas as well. So if you want to edit your captions for your video within Canvas, you can totally do that within the MEDIAL Canvas app. And we'll show that again later. The other thing to say as well is if MEDIAL doesn't produce captions, the user can request them. So if for whatever reason you didn't put captions on your video, we show a link below the player so that the user can request those captions and the administrator of the system would get to know. We can also allow the user to request better captions if, say, the video has been captioned by automatic speech recognition and the user wants better captions done by a human. And obviously all of these captions can be managed within the overall MEDIAL interface, and there can be an approval workflow for that as well if you want particular departments to be able to request captions and others not to. The other thing to say as well, and this is a strength of MEDIAL over the inbuilt Canvas tools, is there's a kind of lack of integrations with the popular recording software that's out there. So the first one is Zoom. Obviously it's a huge part of education now off the back of the pandemic. MEDIAL has an integration with Zoom which works with Canvas, and this is the way it works. So in Zoom you would record to the cloud as you would normally do. That would go to the Zoom cloud. At that point MEDIAL can ingest the content into the MEDIAL content management system and optionally delete that content from Zoom as well. Once it's into MEDIAL, it can be into Canvas as well because MEDIAL is available within Canvas. So this is kind of the workflow for that. We would go to choose the existing media within the MEDIAL Canvas app, and there we would see all of our content. So any content that had been ingested by MEDIAL from Zoom would be available here, and we'd have all of those options that I showed you earlier where you could edit, share, download, delete, etc., select it and embed it in the course if you wanted to. One thing that a lot of people do with this is they use this as a really nice editing tool for their Zoom recordings. So, for example, you might get a teacher record one of their Zoom meetings and there'd be a part of the Zoom meeting that they'd like to take out of the middle where they may have said something not relevant to the lesson, or there might be some sort of data protection issue around that. So they might want to take that out. You can do that within our editor, within MEDIAL, which is great. You can ingest these recordings based on a rule as well. So you can ingest them from certain users. You can ingest them based on whether there's a particular word or hashtag in the Zoom meeting title as well. The other one is Microsoft Teams, and the integration for that with MEDIAL that works with Canvas is identical. We're doing the same thing again. So you record within Teams. Those recordings actually go to OneDrive and SharePoint, and MEDIAL ingests them from there, and again can optionally delete them from OneDrive and SharePoint, and because they're in MEDIAL, they're within the Canvas integration. Same workflow again. Choose existing media within the MEDIAL video app in Canvas, and then we can select the Teams recording. We can edit it, we could share it, we could download it, we can do all the things that we can do with any piece of media in MEDIAL with the Teams recording. Most people are just going to select it and add it to the rich text editor in Canvas. Next point is analytics. We want to know that our video solution is working for us. We want to know that people are using it. Teachers want to know that students are watching their content. How do we know that with the inbuilt tools in Canvas? We don't. With MEDIAL, we know pretty much everything. So the teacher can go into the MEDIAL Canvas app and they can see analytics for all of the content that they've uploaded themselves. So every single piece of content, they can see how many people are watching it, when they're watching it, the devices they're watching it on, etc. If they wanted this data to be anonymized so that they couldn't see which particular people had done that, we can do that as well. This here is showing that we can show engagement on a clip as well. So on each individual video, the teacher can go in and can see how engaged all of the students were with the video across a time period. So we can see here that this particular video has a good level of engagement across the board. And we can also see which students by name and how engaged they were with the video as well, which is great because then we know our video solution's working if the students are watching our videos. So next, what follows is a demo of the workflow within Canvas, and I'll show all of the key points that I've gone through in the first part of this webinar. So let's log into Canvas and have a look at everything that we've described in the previous section of the webinar through the browser as a demo. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to log in as the teacher, and I can go to the demo course. And what we're going to do is we're going to show the flow of MEDIAL within the context of an assignment. So if I go to assignments, and then I'll go to an assignment that I've already set up just for the purposes of the demo, just to make there be less clicks, etc. So this assignment is kind of a sort of a typical thing that you would see. I've given it a title. I've given it, what I want from my students to submit. I've sort of told them where to do it within MEDIAL, etc. And I've given them a grading criteria. So this could just be an assignment with text-based instructions. But what a lot of teachers choose to do is they choose to add a video as an introduction. So here we've got our assignment instructions. Let's add a bit of a video introduction to bring this to life a bit. So we go to the MEDIAL Canvas app. And we could upload a video that we've already created, but what we'll do just to show the flow with more video involved is we'll record from our webcam. So we click to record. Here I am. This brings me in here. I can select HD, SD, I can select a camera, I can select an audio device. So I'll just record the video. So this would be a really, really super simple video introduction to my assignment. I click stop. Here I get the ability to do a really, really simple edit if I want to. I mean, this is an extremely short video, so I'm not going to do an edit, but I could do if I wanted to. Add some metadata. I can choose whether I want my student to be able to download this video, so that might be useful, not in this particular context that I'm doing now, but it might be useful for in other contexts. I can choose a video thumbnail, or I can upload my own. I can choose an associated file. So here I could either upload or request captions. The button's actually missing from this particular account, but you would have the ability to request captions on most MEDIAL accounts. I could add a file here if I wanted to. So I'm going to add a PowerPoint to go along with my video. This will appear as a link below the video. There we go, there's our PowerPoint. And done. So this adds the video into the text editor here, and we can play the video and see that playing back there. So in the context of my assignment, I've now added my video, which would be an introduction to my assignment. I've added some assignment instructions, as I would do for any assignment. The important thing to do here, from a teacher point of view, is to enable this text entry option so that the students can use the same MEDIAL button to submit their assignment. So all that we'll do now is we'll save. We'll log out as the teacher, and we need to log in as the student to submit the assignment. We're logged in as the student. We go to the demo course again, go to the assignments, and we click on the assignment. So here we can add the teacher's instructions, we can see what's expected of us, and we can start our assignment. So same thing again, click here, click to go within MEDIAL. So here we could, again, upload a file if we had one. We could record our webcam. We could choose an existing file that we've already uploaded. So we're able to keep copies of these files here on MEDIAL within Canvas. So we can upload a file, we could record a file, we could upload it later by choosing an existing file. But what we'll do, just for the purposes of the demo, because it's a slightly nicer thing to do and looks better, is we'll record our screen. This puts us into the lovely MEDIAL screen capture interface here, and we can see we can record our screen, our video, or both. We'll do both. We can select a tab, a window, or the entire screen. Also, we can record our tab audio as well. So if we were playing a video and we wanted to talk over that, we could do that as well. I'm just going to use another tab that I've got within my Chrome. So there we are, we're sharing that. We go back and you can see here, here's my little video, here's what I'm sharing in my browser tab. If I click to record, I'm now recording. So the typical example of this would be a student talking over their PowerPoint. That's mainly what these assignment submissions are. But bear in mind here, if we want to talk over a PowerPoint and then at some point we want to go to full screen video, we can do that as well. And we could go back to screen as well. Same thing would happen. So we can do that whilst we're running our recording. We can also pause if we wanted to take a break, or we could simply finish. Once we finish, the file's already uploaded as we're doing it. And here we are. The file is added to the text editor, and we can play the video. We'll submit our assignment. So now we'll log out as the student and we'll log back in as the teacher because we want to grade their assignment. So we'll go back to the assignment and we go into the inbuilt grading mechanism within Canvas, which is the speed grader. So if we go in there, we'll see the video. We'll be able to play that video and we'll be able to grade the assignment. Easy peasy. No leaving Canvas. Everything was done within the browser. So now that we're in as the teacher, what we can do is we can show a whole load of other things that you can do within Canvas that I demonstrated earlier. So the things that we can do here. So if we go to our existing content, what can we do? So the first thing that we can do is we can edit, as I talked about earlier. So we can do trimming of the content. So this is kind of top and tail of our content. We can do a chop. This is taking part of a piece of content out of the middle of a piece of content. So here we're chopping this particular part out of the video that we just created. The other thing that we can do is export. Export means creating multiple pieces of content from one piece of content. So here you can see we're going to create 2 pieces of content from one piece of content. So this is really good if you want to kind of chapter up your video. And you can give these unique names that are different from your original video, and you can keep your original video as well as doing that. Other things that we can do, we can decide to share the media outside of Canvas, so enabling public access to the content. So as soon as we do this, the embedded player can be used outside of Canvas. We can also access the direct access to the MP4 file. This is really useful if you want to use this content in something like a quizzing tool like H5P, for example. We can also delete our own content, and we can download the content as well if we want to. Teachers are also very interested in analytics as well. So we want to see which students watched our content, how watched our content is. So we'll see here when we go in here, we can see all of our content as this particular teacher user. We can see all of the data around how many people are watching the content, how many people are completing watching the content as well. And we can also go to an individual media asset and define a time range and see the engagement with that clip over time. So you can see here, this is the engagement for this particular media clip. And we can also see the engagement by person. So each individual person, and it's given an engagement score out of 100. So after seeing all of this, if you like what you see and you think MEDIAL is a good fit for your organisation, there are a couple of different versions of our software to fit different models and budgets. One is the MEDIAL software solution, which includes a whole lot more than just the Canvas video app. It also comes with a complete video on demand library, the ability to deliver live streaming, amongst many other features that we haven't had time to review in today's presentation. The pricing for MEDIAL starts at just under $4,000 for an on-premise solution or in the cloud. If you're interested in the Canvas video app and you want to run the solution in the cloud, we have an alternate version called MEDIAL Lite, and the pricing on that starts at just under $200 a month. So visit our pricing page on our website at medial.com/pricing, where we can explain the options with a comparison of what each product includes. You also have the ability to do a free trial of the MEDIAL Lite system connected to your Canvas for free for 7 days to try it out before you buy it. If you need any other further information on our Canvas video app, visit medial.com/canvas.